Good morning students. Today I shall discuss a new topic which is control statements in Java. Control statements are the building blocks of any programming language. Control statements control the flow of program such as branching and looping. Branching means jumping from one part of the program to another part of the program based on certain conditions. And looping means executing a set of statements within a program repeatedly based on certain conditions. The various control statements available in Java are broadly categorized as decision-making constructs and looping constructs. Now, in order to achieve branching within a program, we have to make use of the decision-making constructs. And in order to execute a set of statements repeatedly within a program which is looping, we have to make use of the looping constructs. Now let's start with the decision-making construct or the selection statement. We also use the term selection statement to refer to the decision-making construct. Okay, so if else and switch case, these are the examples of the decision-making constructs or the selection statements. So just remember, the if statement, the if-else statement and the switch case statement, those are the examples of the selection statements or the decision-making constructs. And they are also called as conditional statements. This is because each of these selection statements, that is if, else and switch case, execute a set of statements inside a program depending on certain conditions. And these set of statements are used to control the flow of execution of program based on conditions. So to put it simply, these selection statements, that is if, else and switch case, can alter the flow of execution of a program based on certain conditions. And that's why we can say that these statements, they help in branching from one part of the program into another. Now look at the syntax of the if-else construct. So here is the syntax of the if-else construct. It starts with the if keyword, okay, followed by the boolean expression within bracket. This boolean expression is the test condition. If this test condition inside the if clause holds true, then the set of action statements, okay, within the body of this if clause shall get executed. But if this test condition does not hold true, then the control will shift to the else if clause, okay, skipping the set of action statements within the body of this if clause. And then in the else if clause, it again checks the test condition, okay, which is the boolean expression. If this test condition holds true, then the action statements inside the body of this else if clause shall get executed. But in case the test condition holds false, okay, then the set of action statements within the body of this else if clause shall not get executed, and the control will shift to the else clause. In the else clause, there is no test condition. This is because if the test condition in the if clause as well as the test condition in the else if clause shall return false, or if it does not hold true, then obviously the statements inside the else block shall get executed, because the statement inside this else block shall get executed only if the test condition inside the if clause, okay, and the else if clause returns false. But if the test conditions in the if clause or the else if clause holds true, then the control will not jump into the else clause. It will execute the statements, okay, within the if clause body or the else if clause body, depending upon which clause is active. If the if clause is active, then the statements inside the if clause shall get executed if the test condition of the if clause holds true, or else if the else if clause is active and the test condition of the else if clause holds true, then the Java statement inside the else if clause shall get executed. So this is how the if else construct works. Now I shall show you the working of the if else construct properly with the help of an example. Now read the question in this slide. It says, write a program in Java to find the largest among three numbers. Okay, so with the help of this program, I am going to find the largest among three different numbers. The program starts by defining a class identified by the name example6. This class has a body represented by the opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis. Inside the body of this class called example6, there is a main method. The main method is represented as public static void main, and within bracket the data type string and the variable args. This variable args is the argument, okay, whose data type is string. Now this main method is the starting point of execution of a Java program. So this main method will also have a body. Okay, this is the opening parenthesis, and I have to put another bracket here. So this is the closing parenthesis of the main method. Okay, let me set the alignment properly. Okay, so this is the opening parenthesis of the class called example6. Okay, and this is the closing parenthesis of the class called example6. In the same way, this is the opening parenthesis of our main method. Okay, and this is the closing parenthesis of our main method. So the body of the main method, okay, as represented by the opening parenthesis and the closing parenthesis, okay, lies within the body of the class called example6. The first statement inside the main method, okay, declares three variables which are num1, num2 and num3, and each of these variables has been assigned a data type as int because they're allowed to accept only integer values. That's why the values supplied to these variables, that is num1 is 10, num2 is 20 and num3 is 30. So this statement, okay, assigns three variables, that is 10 to num1, 20 to num2 and 30 to num3. And as the statement ends with a semicolon, the next part of the program shows the if else construct. So this is the if else construct as I have highlighted. Now let's move over to the if clause. The test condition in the if clause checks that if num1 is greater than num2 and num1 is greater than num3, okay, then the statement inside the body of the if clause shall get executed, but only if the test condition holds true. Okay, now let's check whether the test condition holds true or not. The statement says if num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3. Okay, now remember that here greater than symbol, okay, is the relational operator, and this double ampersand symbol is the logical operator. This double ampersand symbol denotes AND. Okay, so this will AND these two relational expressions, which is num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3. Now the first relational expression checks whether num1 is greater than num2 or not. So let's find it out. The value of num1 is 10 and the value of num2 is 20. So is 10 greater than 20? No, 10 is not greater than 20. So this test condition in the if clause holds false, and as the test condition holds false, the statement inside the body of this if clause shall not get executed, okay, and the control will move to the else if clause. And then in the else if clause, it is now going to check the test condition, which is num2 greater than num1 and num2 greater than num3. Now in this test condition, here double ampersand denotes the AND operator, and this symbol denotes the greater than, okay, it denotes the greater than operator, which is a relational operator. Now this AND operator is going to join both these relational expressions, that is num2 greater than num1 and num2 greater than num3. Now let's check the first relational expression, which is num2 greater than num1, whether it holds true or not. Now as we know that the value of num2 is 20 and the value of num1 is 10, so obviously 20 is greater than 10, so this relational expression holds true. And since this relational expression holds true, it is going to check the next relational expression after this AND operation. So as of now, remember that this relational expression holds true. So true AND, what is the result of this relational expression? We are going to find it out now. Now this relational expression says num2 greater than num3, okay. Now what's the value of num2? It's 20, and the value of num3 it's 30. Now is 20 greater than 30? No, 20 is not greater than 30, so this relational expression holds false. So true and false. Now what is the result of true and false? The result of true and false shall be false, okay, because if we use the AND operator, both these relational expressions should hold true in order to return the result as true. Now in this case, since one of the relational expressions do not hold true, the second one holds false, okay. Here since the second one holds false, so the AND operator will also return false in this case. As a result, this statement inside the body of the else if clause shall also not get executed. So as of now, at first we have tested the condition in the if clause, okay. The condition holds false, so the statement inside the if clause was not executed. Then it jumps to the else if clause, and then the condition in the else if clause has been tested, okay. As this condition also holds false, so the statement inside the else if clause was not executed. And after that it jumps to the else clause, and since the else clause does not come with any test condition, so the statement inside the else clause, okay, easily gets executed. And this statement says system.out.println num3 plus, then the text is the largest number within inverted code. Now in this statement, system is a Java library class, okay, and with the help of this Java library class system, it is creating an object called out, and this object called out is calling or invoking the method called println. Now println is a method, okay, which displays the text within its bracket into the standard output device. And in our case, the standard output device shall be the monitor, so it's going to display the text within the bracket into the monitor, and what's shown in the monitor is displayed as the output like this, okay. Now let's find out what gets displayed in the output. So the first thing inside the bracket is num3. Now this num3 is a variable because this is not within quotation or inverted comma, so the value of this variable is 30, okay, and this has been declared at the very beginning. So in place of num3, 30 gets displayed in the output. So here it is, this is 30. Then we have added something to this variable called num3 using the plus operator. And what we have added? We have added the text called is the largest number. Now why we are calling this as a text? We are not calling this as a variable, because see, in case of num3, this was a variable because this was not enclosed within quotation or inverted comma. Okay, but this sentence, that is the largest number, is within inverted comma, so we treat it as a text, and whatever text, okay, is within inverted comma gets displayed exactly as it is in the output. So the next part of the output shows is the largest number. So as a result, the output displays the text 30 is the largest number. And once this Java statement gets executed, the output shows 30 is the largest number, and as the statement ends with a semicolon, the body of the else clause stops, followed by the body of the main method and then the body of the class called example6. So this is a very important program, and I want all of you to go through it. And with this, I end my presentation here.